Okay, so I know last time, and guys, I get it. I get it. It's late July. There's no snow anywhere, but looky. Viral video reveals there is still snow in Michigan's Upper Peninsula in late July. This is the 26th. I believe I talked about this on the 20... Excuse me, folks. This wasn't doing this earlier. Okay, Mari.
What are you doing, Jake?
Trying to get rid of this.
What is it?
It wants me to turn off my ad blocker.
Oh,
Here we
you and
go.
your damn ad blocker.
So anyway, I reported on this, but it is not going to allow me to view this.
Well, let's do a quick look-see-loo, Jake. It just doesn't, you know. Let's just give it what it wants.
Whatever.
Let's just give it what it
Very
wants.
pushy.
Yeah, it's just...
So
you know,
in Mohawk, Michigan, they uncovered a pile of snow still standing in his yard on July 24th. You're saying, how does this happen? Sandra Turnquist didn't know what to expect when she got a phone call at work from her boyfriend, Mark, excitedly urging her to come home as quickly as possible because he had something to show her. At first, she thought maybe that Mark was about to propose. The surprise that Mark was so excited about didn't turn out to be white and sparkly, but it wasn't a diamond ring. It was a pile of snow on July 24th. Let's watch the video, shall we?
What is this? Holy cow!
That's right. So the sand preserved.
It's the last plow mound. It's the last plow mound of Keweenaw.
Oh, God.
This has got to be a record.
Guys, he's...
July 24th.
That's...
We still got this.
Yeah.
We still got this.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about this right now.
Oh my God.
Get rid of it.
Should I throw a snowball at the car?
No,
This has got to be a record.
that's really clean snow.
Hey, let's eat it. Oh
No.
cow.
The guy did suggest eating the snow. That was correct. But, so a lot of you can say, well, that guy could have just put, some ice there and threw some sand on top of it. Too good to be true. I don't know. At this rate, it might really just last until the next snowfall. Again, I'm reporting on this tonight because it's July 26th. There's still a snow pile in UP of Michigan, which is generally an area that does not get extremely hot, but I have visited there in the summers, and you'll have your days of mid-80s up there, so it does get summery. But this is ridiculous. The one that we showed last week on our show was a very small, puny pile of snowplow mound. This right here was covered in sand, and this guy was just digging through this. I don't know what he was doing. Hopefully, again, I hope this is real. I would hate to report this and come to find out this guy took all this time to put sand on top of the snow here. But July 26th, and it's heading into August. Curiosity, what is the record for a snowplow mound to withstand warm temperatures? How long? Last year, I know we spoke of a place in Wisconsin that lasted until early July. This year, it did the same thing, late June, early July, the same spot. And now we're finding other places. This is the third snow pile report that we've seen for this summer where there is still evidence of a snowplow mound. Crazy. Here's when the Atlantic hurricane season typically ramps up, not rams up. Anyway, it's August.
Now that we are moving into August.
The switch is flipped. I will say this. This map here, very precise about the storms that we see fired up in August. Along with the fact that El Nino is no more as well, now we have the wind shear less present and possibility for storms to actually get their act together in the Gulf and in the Caribbean are more than likely now. But I want to hats off to weather.com for putting out this non-sensational, hey, it's August, we're going to see an increase of hurricanes, because typically we usually see the increase of hurricanes between now and September. Very accurate. And I'm glad this came out on weather.com, because I'm already seeing a couple of things out there in the YouTube land, maybe projecting some, massive storms, and August is about to get very busy and blah, blah, blah. But of course, August is about to get very busy. This is the time of the year that we usually see the increase in storms. But I want to say this as well, because we have I want to lead off tonight with doing the temperatures, actually. As conditions have dropped for a El Nino at this point, and of course my GFS is going to be acting up tonight, folks. There we go. We just got to give a little nudge. El Nino's going away, so less wind shear in the Gulf. But temperatures. We were talking about this in the last broadcast. I was kind of going a little crazy. I couldn't believe all the 70s and 60s in the Midwest and the Northeast. We get around August 5th. Now we're expecting somewhat of a pattern change for temperatures, August 6th. And if you look in the Northern Plains, it begins there. Minnesota, the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Northern Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. As we move forward to August 7th, low temperatures overnight, we start to see that front dipping down. August 7th, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, the heart of our farming communities here, the agricultural world, where we need August to be August, unfortunately is going to be acting like mid-September. Those are overnight lows for Thursday. Temperatures creeping in the 40s, parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Also in northern Minnesota. UP of Michigan will get close. Again, for daytime highs on August 8th, 70s. Low 80s in western Kansas. Folks, I'm telling you right now, 82 degrees feels like a fall day for these folks out here in western Kansas and northwestern Kansas. It usually gets super hot. It's dry heat and you don't feel it as much as you would with the humidity, but it's hot. And right now we are not seeing that. Daytime temps, highs in the 60s. We got some spotty heat throughout the Northeast, Midwest, Ohio. But for August, so, I don't know about you guys. Overnight lows, these are daytime highs for August 10th forecasted. This can't be right. The only reason why I can halfway agree that these are correct and accurate, these are not overnight temperatures right here. It switches from the 9th to the 10th. But it's not 105 degrees at nighttime. So, these are daytime temperature highs on August 10th. So I heard and I saw that we were going to see a big temperature difference for the most part starting on the 7th of August, running through mid-August. This GFS run has daytime temperatures up where Thor, your neck of the woods, will be close to 58 degrees for a daytime high. Parts of the Adirondacks will be in the upper 50s for daytime highs. More urbanized areas like Albany, 65 degrees on August 10th, folks. Come on. Now, this is still way far out. It's the 28th of July. We're 12, 13 days away from this forecast. But this is certainly impressive. And if you look as far south as Arkansas, 70s, 60s, Oklahoma, 75 degrees in Tulsa for August 10th. Now, Texas you're hotter than Hell's Kitchen. So it's like all the heat is staying in Texas and the panhandle of Oklahoma. That's it. Even the deep south, man, 80 degrees for highs in parts of Mississippi. 84 degrees in the middle of Alabama. Atlanta, 84 degrees for a high on August 10th. These temperatures are at least 10 to 20 degrees below normal by the time we get to August 10th. But, you know, the media wants to talk about these 3-day heat waves that continue to happen 2 different times in 3 weeks in the middle of summer. I get it. Let's take a look at the moisture. Lots of it. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Florida, you're going to get your fair share. Iowa, parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio on Monday. Storms race across the Midwest. By Tuesday, we'll see it in the Northeast and Pennsylvania, all the way through the Tennessee Valley down in New Orleans. Houston has spotty scattered showers as well. Far north is North Dakota. Some light rain. Another system moves through on Wednesday through the east, the northeast. High pressure sitting above the Great Lakes, keeping that moisture mainly south, West Virginia and below, across the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia as well. We'll see a fair share of precipitation by the 1st and 2nd of August as this low pressure system just kind of hangs out Saturday the 3rd. So 2 days of pretty decent rainfall, and then August 4th we see the atmosphere reloading once again for Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and parts of Alabama as well. The rest of us behind it are staying relatively dry or just normal summer showers, nothing to write home about. But on August 5th, right before this cold front moves through, we see some heavier showers in Nebraska and Kansas rolling through as well. Parts of Minnesota, Iowa, all the way back to New Mexico, as this system starts to make its way through on Monday, August 5th. That cooler air is following it with that high pressure pushing all this moisture off into the Atlantic Ocean. Here we are on August 7th. This is where that end of that cold front is beginning. And you can see it right here, folks. That cooler air settling in and pushing its way across the United States right here, where this leading edge of rain is the little bit of warmth. And the majority of this heat is going to stay down here below this moisture as well. But as we go through the 7th, the 8th, that cooler air keeping that moisture further south, and high pressure just dominating as well. With high pressure usually has drier air. So that's the good news. If it was a little more humid, we might see the temperatures drop a little bit. Again, humid air takes a little longer to warm up versus drier air. Drier air instantly gets hot, obviously. So we get a little bit active for the Midwest and the Northeast, especially. Off and on showers for the farming community out there in Nebraska and Kansas. It does look like you guys are going to get your share of moisture starting on the 2nd of August, really. Things start to pick up once again for Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, especially in those concentrated areas that I just mentioned. That's where we're going to see the majority of the rain. The Northeast should see the second amount, and I'd say it's a close second with the Ohio Valley, Indiana, Kentucky regions as well. Again, this happened earlier tonight in Clifton Park, New York. As you can see, lots of debris on the ground, lots of leaves, broken limbs, and a tree on a house. The shingles appear to be intact, so this is what makes me think that we were just dealing with straight line winds and not a tornado. I could be wrong. I'm sure the National Weather Service will review this information. Let's go ahead and upgrade our radar before we log out for the night. Mari, would you like to add any final words for this evening's show? It's been a hot one, I should say.
Well, at least it's not too humid here today.
True.
I'd like to thank Matt Bros. He did a super chat and he said, I'd like it to go to Mari's dad's house. And that's very humbling to me because we've been working on that house. I was just telling people.
We were just there today.
Dealing with a soffit that has completely fallen off. And then one person in the chat was like, well, how's that just fall off? I'm like, well, the house is from the 1800s.
Yeah, it's got some water damage, roof damage, and the upper parts of the fascia board is now starting to rot off. So that's how bad this house needs the roof, for sure. Last year, we spent a lot of money and time on the clean out.
That and there's all the red tape from New York
all
State
the taxes
and just tax. It's just like the project is like a big thorn in my side. So I appreciate that, Matthew. Thank you. He thinks we're too humble. So and we probably are, but you know, honestly, we care a lot what we do on the channel, and the number one thing that's important to us is the message. And the message on this channel is we're in a natural cycle. It's the sun, and we want people to be adapted. So I guess you could say we're humble, but you know, whatever. Soul Quest, thank you also for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And Concerned Canadian has been like a top cheerleader trying to get people to like. He didn't get an alert in the chat. I don't know if notifications didn't go out, but it seems like we have a decent amount of people in the chat right now. Thor wanted me to tell you Tony Heller showed the temp readings in Paris. They came from directly the most dense and concrete heat island in Paris.
Of course.
And I recently, on the solar update that YouTube conveniently limited our monetization on, there is an article that Starman shared with me that I give an overview about the heat sink effect in these islands. So definitely check it out.
That's probably what it was then.
Yeah, it's an article that just explains the phenomena. Let's see what. And speaking of Starman, David Birch, he was in the chat.
Awesome. Good to see you, bro.
It's always good to see him. And he said in the UK, it's currently 7 degrees Celsius under July's average. Remain calm, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
7 isn't nothing.
God. Under. You know, meanwhile, everyone's freaking out about, you know, the temperatures. The reality is...
Take that, severeweather.eu.
And, you know, we have a lot of people saying that the reported temperatures on a lot of these weather apps are 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius off the top of my head. They're off. So we get that worldwide. People saying what the reported temperature is several degrees below.
Well, we had that in the winter.
Yeah.
We had the forecasted high that would be 26 degrees Fahrenheit. It wouldn't get past 20.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Let's see. Concerned Canadian got banned from Twitter. We're getting a lot of people banned from Twitter for, you know,
we're getting shadow
the
banned
weather
from YouTube.
So that's interesting. Matt was talking about in the chat the hail. It's not the size of the hail; it's the wind that accompanies it.
Sure.
And I recall a really large hail event. I don't remember how many pounds it was. Do you remember, like, it was like the media black, like it was like an outage, and we reported it, and
it was last summer, but I don't remember what about it.
So many weird hail events. Yeah. I don't recall exactly. I'll have to do some research. We really statistically should find a way to track these hail events better, because there's no universal like database that tracks them all. Because there are some freak hail events. It would
probably scare some people if they actually saw
there are some freak hail events, and they aren't reported properly, and there are media blackouts on them, and it's a little crazy. So, let's see what else. I don't know. Someone's talking about the grasshoppers in Nevada.
I saw that in Vegas.
Freaky.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It looks like snowstorm.
Weird. Glad I'm not there.
I saw it on my Facebook, actually. A friend of mine was getting ready to travel to Vegas, and they said, nope, after that. There's nothing but grasshopper carcasses everywhere right now.
And then the last thing I should probably mention, I love y'all in the chat. You're wonderful. We have a t-shirt promotion that's going through the weekend. Teespring actually is offering 10% off all the merchandise in our store with the code SUNSHINE. Jake.
Very convenient.
Sunshine. I guess it ends this weekend. That's a promotion run by Teespring for our store. So thank you, Teespring, for doing it. So that's all I have, Jake.
Thank you, Mario, for checking it. Also, Rex, I didn't forget you, bud. There was a headline that I was going to mention tonight. I didn't get to it, but cold wave in Siberia and Russia. Temperatures are cold there. I'll have to read that later. I got that notice from you later, so thank you for the article, Rex, once again, for sharing with us here at the Grand Solar Minimum. That's going to do it for us tonight, guys. We will be back on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, guys, be safe out there, and we will talk soon. Take care. How much did